Alright my friends, today's an exciting day. After months of hard work, we're finally ready to launch our brand new website. We've put a lot of work into this and I think it's going to be great. It's a social networking website made specifically for people who knit, and it's called Knitter. You can publish updates up to 140 characters, which we call yarns. You can interact with other people who knit, and you can keep up with all of the latest news about knitting. We really think it's going to change the world. Now, there may be some skeptics, some haters, who say, this is a weird website, it's a little bit too niche, how could it ever possibly do well? Well, the thing about the internet is that it's such a level playing field and it's such an open place that if you make something good, if you make something that people like and that people will use, then you will succeed and you will do well. And we've seen this before. We've seen some websites like MySpace, Friendster, and Dig give way to today's tech giants like Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, among others. These websites came out, they started relatively new, and they did something better. People enjoyed them, they started using them, and now they are the established kings of the internet. Okay, now let's fast forward about a year or so. The website's doing well, people are really using it, we have a lot of daily active users. But we've been getting some complaints. Some users have been saying that the website is loading really slowly for them, and they're getting frustrated. So I checked on our servers, and they're fine. They're not under any heavy load. And then I decided, why don't I try and see if I can recreate the same issue myself, see if it's an isolated incident or not. So here's a graph of data that I collected over the span of 1 year, and it's the % change in download speed for that year for our website. So as you can see, from January to October, there's some minor fluctuations, no more than 8% change, and that's kind of within the margin of error, not too much to notice there. But as you can see, from October to December, we go from about a positive 5% down to a negative 20% change in our download speed. That means our website is going to be loading a lot slower than it was before. And that's definitely an anomaly. It's not normal behavior, it's not margin of error. Something is definitely happening here. So I went to talk to the internet service providers, and they essentially said that they introduced a high-speed data lane, and that websites could pay extra money in order to be able to use this high-speed data lane and transfer data to their customers faster. Now, we don't have the money or negotiating power to work with these internet service providers because we're a small company. So we're in this bad position. We can't afford to spend extra money on our internet speeds. But at the same time, if we don't, then people will stop using our website, they'll get frustrated, they'll leave, and then we'll be forced to shut it down. Now let's take a step back, because although Knitter is not real, that graph that I just showed you is very real. I'm going to put it up again with a little bit more data. The company in question is Netflix, and the internet service provider in question is Comcast, and the time frame is from January of 2013 to March of 2014. So you'll see that same data again, January to October, relatively normal within the margin of error. Then from October of 2013 to January of 2014, Netflix is in conversation with Comcast about using their high-speed data lane, paying extra money in order to get their data across. And as you can see, Comcast is heavily throttling their data. It's going down to a negative 25% decrease in download speed. Users are getting really slow data and they're getting frustrated. And I think you can imagine when Netflix agreed to finally give in to Comcast and pay them extra money. Because starting at January of 2014 and up to March of 2014, we go from a negative 25% change in speed all the way up to a 25% change in speed. So it kind of normalizes. This is definitely a clear case of an internet service provider playing with data in order to sort of win their way. Okay, so this is the internet that we're headed towards, but it's not the internet that we want. The FCC, which is the government organization that regulates the internet, is currently under Chairman Ajit Pai, and they are working to remove regulations that allow for net neutrality to be legally enforced. That's the idea that internet service providers cannot slow down your speed and force you to pay extra money in order to use it. We need to keep the internet the way it is today. We need the internet that these companies have all been built on. The internet where you are free to make something, reach the maximum target audience, and do well. We need an internet where if the question is, who can succeed, the answer is anyone. Thank you.